Hiya, I'm Gakkyoku and I want to talk about Irma stories. This hurricane had just recently passed Florida and hopefully everyone that got affected from it is okay. Now it's time to start with all of these stories mashed up into one video. Before Irma came, we had to get prepared. Thing is, everything we needed was absolutely gone. No bread, no soups, and everything else. A few days passed and we decided, hey, since a hurricane's coming and there's literally nothing else to do, let's reorganize our things! In my mind, I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. So after organizing a few things, a huge blackout occurred across the whole neighborhood. So the very first thing we did was gather all of the book lights and place it into the living room. It reminded me of one of those things where a person is holding a torch in a cave, but instead of a torch, it's a book light. We were all kind of ill-prepared, but good thing we were resourceful. At least we had that huge block of ice my dad made before we lost all power. The next day I saw a mouse. It might have been a rat. I'm not so sure, but it was on a sliding glass door. It climbed from the top to the bottom, then went off. Since we were on the outskirts of the hurricane, we decided to drive around. So we drove and the rain was pouring like crazy. There were some parts that were beginning to flood and other parts that were already flooded. Also, we predicted what else would flood, like a grass farm, a grass park, basically everything that was grassy. After that, we went back home and waited out the storm. My mom made some delicious peanut butter jelly wraps. Then the next day came. We were off the grid, but luckily we had survival skills. So we drove around again to see the effects of what happened last night. There were trees flipped upside down, shingles off the roofs, and debris everywhere. We then went back to the places we previously checked before the storm. Everything we hypothesized came true. Not only did the grassy field flood, but it became a lake. We then went home to play some intense goldfish. After waiting a few hours, we went out again to check out how the neighborhood was like without power. And it was amazing! Because all the lights were off in our neighborhood, we got to see the stars clearly in the sky. You could also see the silhouette of the trees along with those stars. It was truly a beautiful sight. Next morning, we all had to go ice hunting. After a lot of failed attempts, we went to a store to get fresh loaves of bread for each person. It was delicious. You could notice that the streets were filling up and stores were opening again. As we went back home, we noticed that the power was back on. Everybody was in awe, and I think everybody had a little dance party in their minds when they saw this. We were all kind of ill-prepared, but good thing we were We went home and played some Hello Kitty Foldfish. The next day I woke up and saw a mouse rat